How to accumulate wealth.
If you've got money to invest right now today and you came to me with an amount of money, Ahmed, I'd actually say this. I'd say invest in yourself first. Invest in courses, invest in coaching, invest in mentoring, because I've spent hundreds of thousands on all of that and still am to this very day, because you are your single biggest investment you'll ever make in your life. Forget about the real estate project, forget about that bond that pays 10% per annum. Invest in yourself. You can have all the money in the bank, you can have all the cars, all the successful materialistic sort of successes and trappings, but you can't take it to the grave, but you can take your memories with you. At one point a few years ago, I'll tell you a story, I think it was 5 coaches in my life. Yeah, it was an expensive monthly bill, I'll tell you. So I had a personal coach, a PT coach. I had a nutritional coach. I then had call him a spiritual coach. I then had a performance mentor coach, and then a business coach. 5 coaches. Yeah, my weeks were busy, man. Every day I was doing an hour's call with some coach. And my wife's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, spending all this money. But did it help me get me where I am today? Yes. Do I think it's money well spent? Absolutely. Here's another thing that people don't realise. When I've been coached, and you're one of my friends, I will talk about the stuff that I've learned on my coaching sessions. So guess what? You're getting my knowledge for free that I've learned from somebody who's a pro in the area. I love to share what I've built, what I've created. I think it's more satisfying and fulfilling for me to be able to share the success that I've created. So money for me means financial freedom, but the ability to hopefully impact other people's lives. I don't want to just impact mine and my family's lives. I want to impact other people's lives and share that money with them or share that success with them in any way, shape or form I can. What I've actually found in entrepreneurship is you can have this great idea and fixate on it, but I guarantee you 1,000,000% when you then become successful, that idea you had has morphed into an idea that's over here, and it could be 60-70% different to your initial idea, because that's the thing they never teach you in the school of entrepreneurship. You can have
Peter, are you ready to unleash?
I was born ready.
What's the percentage for today for unleashing?
100%.
This is what we want.
Mia.
That's lovely. When I think about money, what does the meaning of money for Peter?
For me personally?
For you, yeah.
Wow, that's a great question. So, detailed answer. I think for me, money means a variety of things, because a lot of people talk about, financial freedom, right? Being able to support, care for your family. For me, money means the ability to create experiences that actually create the memories. Now, why do I say that? Because you can have all the money in the bank, you can have all the cars, all the successful materialistic sort of successes and trappings, but you can't take it to the grave, but you can take your memories with you. So I believe I've been very fortunate and blessed enough to earn some good money over the years, but I share it out, I give it away. It's almost like my wife says to me sometimes, are you allergic to the money that you've earned? Because it allows you to do good things with it. Because maybe it's a limiting belief that I've got, right? Where I love to be able to share not just the money or the wealth, but the success that I've created, because money is obviously success, right? So it's about being able to share it with other people. Maybe just because it makes me feel good. I love to share what I've built, what I've created. I think it's more satisfying and fulfilling for me to be able to share the success that I've created. So money for me means, the financial freedom, but the ability to hopefully impact other people's lives. I don't want to just impact mine and my family's lives. I wanted to impact other people's lives and share that money with them or share that success with them in any way, shape or form I can.
Does it buy happiness?
That old adage, does it create happiness? Money buy happiness? Would you want me to give you a very, very contrived answer?
Please.
It can buy cars, and if cars are your thing, then cars make you happy, then yeah, it can. Right? Okay, we can cut that one out. But the reality is, can it buy happiness? No, of course it can't, because nothing can really buy happiness. I mean, let me flip it back at you. What's happiness to you? Can you go out now and bring me some happiness right in front of me? If it's a car and a Porsche GT3 9RS, then maybe you will. But my point is, no, it's happiness is a mindset thing. It's something that can be created. True happiness is not something you can physically go to the supermarket and buy and then just install and plug and play, right? Happiness is created through experiences or some joy that's created through sharing.
That's amazing. Do you think that money change people?
Yes. In my experience, again, I've got two trains of thought on how to answer this. I've seen people become successful from earning very obscene amounts of money. It's not changed them at all, one iota. They're still the same people. There's still people now I can call up. My WhatsApps are answered. They're people I can call on for advice. I've seen other people that have, I'll use the word become more successful in their profile and their sort of celebrity profile, if that's the right word to use. Of course, they've earned more money, and I'd say now my relationships like drifted from them. The more successful that they've become, they're obviously dealing in new areas of life that I'm not privileged to. Like they'd be flying around on private jets. They hobnob with celebrities, and their life is now like that. And the relationship that I used to have with them was, say, equal. Over the years, as they become more successful, more wealthy, the relationship's drifted. I'm not able to maybe send them a WhatsApp anymore because they just blank me. And it's not that anything bad has happened. It's just that they are in a new paradigm that I'm not privileged to be in. I'm not in their world, right? And I think that's where money changes people. It's because you then, you become disassociated with people that you might have used to have, personal relationships and friendships with. I'd like to think that money hasn't changed me over the years. I'm still me. I actually still walk around and feel that I'm totally skint, right? Because that's, again, it's like I always feel that, every day I get up to hustle to earn $1 for my family and for me to survive. I'm still in that survival instinct mode. I don't think success has changed me at all. I still share my successes. Maybe I'm built differently, I don't know. But I think, I have seen a lot of people change over the years, and it is sad to see, but I'm only saying it's sad to see it in them because I believe I've not changed. So if I've not changed, I struggle to reconcile it in other people. Well, if it's not changed me, why is it changing you, right?
Have you had any experience from people around you that you saw them that they had this kind of abundance on their money and they changed it? And if yes, what could be the potential reason for that?
How do I answer this? Yes, I've definitely seen people that have become extremely successful and extremely wealthy, and very quickly. Now, that could be the answer there. If success in anything in life is too quick to experience, I'll use from my previous career, when I saw young DJs become very successful very quickly, they hadn't done what I'd done. They hadn't kind of cut their teeth and had all the challenges, the failures, and of course, that sort of journey. They were almost an overnight success. Now, I think that can be applied to anything in life. If you embrace too much success too quickly, you've almost had it all without having to fight for it all. Whereas guys like me, where we've had to fight for it and lose it a few times, it kind of gives you a bit more of a resilience, but also the journey that you've gone on to get to successful has kind of taught you. Whereas if it's too much too soon, it can change your mindset, right? You become a bit of a diva. You become very expecting, very sort of self-serving. I believe that it's changed people because they then think that they're above other people because they've achieved it all: money, wealth, success, fame, fortune, all of that. If it's put upon them too early in their career, in their trajectory, I think it can mess people up. I think it has the opposite effect. I think it can actually cause people to, going through the hardships and the successes and failures, I think makes you a better person because, life is like that, right? It's that jagged edge of success, or the roller coaster of life, as I like to refer to it as. And I think that people that have had it then makes them, I guess, or it elevates them to a way that's not realistic. Dude, we all breathe the same air. We've all got blood in us. Do you know what I mean? We all have the same human habits. In my life, there's no one better than me. There's no one worse than me. That's just my outlook on stuff. But other people might go, well, I've got more zeros in my bank account than you, therefore I'm better than you. No, that's a wrong way to look at it.
That's beautiful. You just mentioned that you had many times that you hit the rock bottom in your life, right? Bouncing back, I believe that in that kind of transition, you see the real faces of people sometimes, right? Sometimes you need someone to help, someone to give something just in that period. when you bounce back, did you have like any time when you start to bounce back and the people that you approached them before, they come back to you and they need the help from you? And if yes, what was your decision in that case? Are you helping them or just say, oh, listen, they didn't help me, so it's a law of reciprocity?
Oh, that's an interesting one. No, I've always maintained, much to the dismay of my wife, you know, if I've helped people out in the past and they come a knocking and then, you know, they distance themselves for a few years, go off, experience the success, they hit a speed bump in their life or their career, and then they come back knocking on my door's always been open. I'm not that person, Ahmed, just because they might have wronged me in the past, you know, and why would I shut them down, man? You know, because it says more about my character and less about theirs, right? It's like, I'm an open door, I'm an open book. Just because you might have gone off and done something that might have upset people. I mean, my wife gets more upset about it than what I do, right? Because it has happened to me a few times. And she gets more annoyed about the situation than me. I've heard her a few times, she's like, why are you speaking to that guy again? Because he did this, this and this to you 5 years ago. I'm like, yeah, because he now needs my help. Yeah, but he did this, this. And I was like, and? Maybe I can provide value to him now. Maybe I've got something to share with him. Who should I be to, you know, hold that secret or knowledge or wisdom? Because if I can share it with him, it could help him and it could help the other people around him. I see the bigger picture.
But don't you think that sometimes people take advantages of your kindness?
Yes. Yeah, I see that, and my wife points it out to me. I choose to shut it down because I think I'm not going to change who I am. Not now, not ever. And if people, again, I'll go back to what I said earlier, it says more about my character and less about theirs. Even if they just take all the time, fine, I'm just going to keep giving. That's just who I am. Yes, you've got to regulate that, and yes, you've got to kind of understand, you know, I'm not stupid. I know when I'm being taken advantage of, but I think at the same time, if I've got something to give, I'm not going to be the person to just, you know, I come from an abundance mindset. Right? I come from a big family where it's all about giving and, you know, reciprocity and helping people. And I'm not going to change that. You know, that's just who I am.
Money. Again, money. If you had like, again, some turbulence in your life, okay? And you came back to the rock bottom. What are you going to do back based on the experience that you have at all of your life to bounce back again?
I got asked this recently. It's such an important question. I think any entrepreneur that's had it and lost it as many times as most entrepreneurs had it, and trust me, I've had it and lost it at least 4 times. You could take away everything. You could reset your bank account to 0, take away the houses, the watches, the cars, whatever it is, right, the businesses. If you've got that, you've still got the ability to go again. Because without that, you're not going to be able to build a business again. You're not going to be able to rebuild yourself. You can take away everything, man, from me. But if I've got that still, and I can work it out and figure it out again, how to earn money again. I've seen a lot of other entrepreneurs answer that in the exact same way, but it is so true. Because if you've got that and you've got the experiences of life, you'll figure it out. If you've made money once, you'll be able to make money again. If you've built a business once, you'll be able to build another business if that business fails or multiple businesses fail. Now, I think all entrepreneurs, I know a lot of VC funds that were, and it's quite a publicised quote, they will only invest in founders that have failed at least 2 or 3 times. Why? That's the resilience. That's what they're buying into. They're buying into that person or their adaptability and flexibility to pivot, figure it out and go again. Take the knocks, take the rough of the smooth and just go again. I'm no different, man.
How to accumulate wealth?
I'm still figuring that one out. Especially if you're married to my wife. Sorry, darling.
So how do you do it? Let's say that I have like a certain amount of money. How can I grow this kind of money? Based on what?
Well, firstly, I'll put my disclaimer out. I'm not a financial advisor. Yes, I'm in the world of capital raising and I am still making failures in my own personal investments. So that's number one that I think people should take away. I've answered this before. Accumulating wealth is quite a contrary and subjective answer. I'll start at the basics at the beginning. If you've got money to invest right now today and you came to me with an amount of money, Ahmed, I'd actually say this. I'd say invest in yourself first. Invest in courses, invest in coaching, invest in mentoring, because I've spent hundreds of thousands on all of that and still am to this very day. Because You are your single biggest investment you'll ever make in your life. Forget about the real estate project. Forget about that bond that pays 10% per annum. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, because investing in that, the knowledge and wisdom will compound if you keep investing into yourself or reinvesting into yourself. That's all I'm doing. I'm constantly reinvesting into myself. Yes, I make lots of real estate investments. I make some other, private equity type investments and fixed income investments. But I would say, number one, invest in yourself first and get the basics, get the foundation set for then investing into other opportunities, investment structures, instruments, because I think it all starts from here first.
That's beautiful. Investing in yourself or investing in your business, and your business will give you luxury to invest in yourself.
Love it.
What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think investing into yourself, it's that it's almost like a self-perpetuating cycle. Because I think if you invest into yourself and then it allows you to then say become successful, to create a modest amount of wealth, then you can then start to implement that, but never give up on yourself. You've got to constantly, be coached, mentored, and courses, whatever it might be of what your thing is. And I think believe in yourself. I think that's important as well. I think, again, investing into different structures, take good advice, sit on decisions, right? Don't just invest blindly because you know the person, you like the person. Do the whole, what I call the 3-day rule. Sleep on it for 3 nights, right? Keep asking different questions each night, go to sleep again, and then make on the 4th day, make a decision.
That's beautiful. You just remind me by something that I have. And there was a certain time in my life that I had a certain amount of money, okay? And I was surrounded by great entrepreneurs. And I had that money. I had like 2 choices: either to go for a coaching and take me to the next level, or take this money and invest it in marketing and get more clients from that perspective. And I remember one of the coaches that told me, it's easy to take the second route, which is getting into that, and your business from your perspective at that time will grow. Which is, you will great clients, you will great cost per acquisition will be lower and all of this stuff. But now the question is, you need someone, if you want to scale it to the next level, it's not just about the number of clients that you get. It's all about the positioning and the pricing and all of this stuff. So this kind of mental shift, I would say, which is most entrepreneurs, they think, okay, if I want to grow my business, I want to spend more money on the marketing, and they avoid that thing on themselves. And I remember when I took that route, just investing with a great coach that helped me knowing what does mean by positioning, what does mean by pricing and all this stuff, everything has started to shift in that perspective. Yeah. So the reason I'm saying that, because most entrepreneurs, they think it's all about just, I love what you said, it's all about investing in yourself. And not too many people understand this, because they're afraid about that limitation of the money. If I invest that money and if it doesn't come back, because what will be the ROI investing in myself? And this kind of mental shift, it changes everything.
You are if you're an entrepreneur, you are your own business. You've got to invest in yourself first, because everything else then comes after it. Like years ago, I went to Las Vegas to Alex Hormozi's scaling workshop, 2-day event. It was great. I thought I was going to do the 2 days there and come out as the next Alex Hormozi. It was a great event, so no disrespect to Alex Hormozi and Leila. They're fantastic, amazing operators. Yes, of course I got value from going on the course. But I'd say it probably took me another 1.5 years to kind of implement a lot of that stuff. But there's definitely value that I took from it. From what I learned, maybe I took 20% of what I learned that day or those 2 days that I've implemented into my company. So you're not going to get the 100% of what you learn, because every business is nuanced, every entrepreneur is nuanced, and of course it's obviously different. But I think that when you look at investing in yourself, and again, I know many entrepreneurs around me that are now friends, they've all got coaches, business coaches, spiritual coaches, AI coaches, personal, nutritional peptide coaches, right? Because again, everything within being an entrepreneur is nuanced. At one point, a few years ago, I'll tell you a story. I think it was 5 coaches in my life. Yeah, it was an expensive monthly bill, I'll tell you. So I had a personal coach, a PT coach, the gym. I had a nutritional coach, which was very dialed in. I had a few personal health issues, some stomach issues that we were working on, some stuff, and some sleep issues. I then had I'll call him a spiritual coach. I then had a performance mentor coach and then a business coach as well. 5 coaches. Yeah, my weeks were busy, man. Every day I was doing an hour's call with some coach. And my wife's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, spending all this money. But did it help me get me where I am today? Yes. Do I think it's money well spent? Absolutely. Here's another thing that people don't realise. When I've been coached and you're one of my friends, I will talk about the stuff that I've learned on my coaching sessions. So guess what? You're getting my knowledge for free that I've learned from somebody who's a pro in the area. And I think, again, it's that the love I have for sharing, not just success, wealth, but actually knowledge, sharing knowledge. I think knowledge should always be imparted. Wisdom should be imparted. Why keep it in there? Put it out to people around you that could maybe benefit from it. So all of my coaches over the years, a lot of my team actually say that it's great because we get that coaching for free from you, so we don't have to do it, right?
That's great. So with all the success that you have today, don't you have a moments that say, Peter, enough, I want to relax, I want to stop all of this, I want to stay with myself and enjoy my life?
Okay, there's 2 parts to answer this. Yes and no, for sure. On the challenging days, I absolutely go, why am I busting my balls like this? There's got to be more to life than just slogging it out till your eyes bleed, that whole sort of hustle culture thing. And then other days I'm like, I really enjoy this. This is great. I know, 'cause I'm so contrary with my answers sometimes. But that's life, right? You're going to get tough days. You're going to get easy days because that's entrepreneurship. Yeah, I do sometimes think, I'm 54 now, right? And I think that I'm only getting started in my career now in entrepreneurship, like truly. Some people look at me going, but Pete, you've been doing this for years. I'm like, yeah, my company's been going for years. I've been going for years. But where I'm at in my life now, I only feel like I'm getting started in this new season of life, entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it, my journey. And I think that the days that pass where I feel that I haven't nudged the needle, I'm like a bit disappointed in myself. I'm like, should have done more today. And then there's days I've ground it out, done those 16, 18-hour days. I'm like, wow, I've really made a difference today. I feel like, yeah, well done, Pete. You did good today, right? I think we put too much pressure on ourselves as entrepreneurs. And I think I'm going to say 2 trains of thought with entrepreneurship. There's probably more, but I'll give you my perspective. There's the guys that want to do it without actually putting the hours in and just want all the materialistic successes and trappings and the Insta lifestyles. Then there's the guys that will truly grind it out. But then those guys that truly do those 16, 18-hour days, I question them and say, well, how much life are you actually living in that 16 to 18-hour days? I try and blend it in with a bit of me time or 2 to 3 hours each day, actually in the morning, where I live a very peaceful life, to answer your question. And in the early part of each morning that I have, I do all my biohacking routines and the usual entrepreneur stuff of journaling and chilling out and meditating and walking on the beach and just being alone, right? Alone with myself and my thoughts. Because if I don't do that, again, it's so personalised to me, I know how busy my day is going to get. And then I know that I probably won't be able to be present till I go to bed at night because that's just life, right? That's just the stuff that happens. So I try to make that little bit of time for myself to be present with myself and my life because I know that shit's just going to come at me morning, noon and night and it's going to be relentless, right? And I think that's the thing where I think a lot of entrepreneurs that are super successful, billionaires, and I look at it and I do question them. I'm looking at them on a podcast or in an interview and I look at them going, but how happy are you? And how fulfilled do you feel in your life? Yeah, you've got all the billions in your bank and stuff and you've got the nice villa, whatever it is, right? But I look at it and go, truly, how happy are you right now? Can you honestly look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm actually really happy with my life and lifestyle? Because I know that I can do that in the morning or the evening and think, yeah, okay, I nudged the needle today. I had a bit of me time. I've nudged the needle in my business. I've done some stuff. I feel fulfilled. I feel fortified. I can honestly look at myself in the mirror and think, yeah, Pete, today you did enough. There's definitely some days I'll look in and go, Peter, you didn't do enough today, right? Because that's just life, right?
That's beautiful. I like what you have mentioned, that it's life, it's all ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
When you feel down, What are you telling yourself to come back?
Well,
Because it's not easy, you know. Let's say
not.
that. How do you bounce back?
I've got strategies for me, and I'll be honest, Ahmed, a lot of them are actually where I'll probably lean into one of my coaches, right? Because it's like there's a part of me, although we know I'm super positive, right? Positive Pete.
Yeah.
There's definitely parts I get challenged and I'm like, oh, I feel really bummed out. I feel really negged out. And it's too easy to go into the fear or the anxiety part or the poor me part, right? Of, I'm in this, I'm having a terrible day and I've got all these challenges. I don't know how to get out of it. Yeah, you do. You just don't want to be, or you don't want to get uncomfortable, right? Because let's face it, being uncomfortable means you've got to roll your sleeves up and you've got to do a lot of hard work or have a lot of uncomfortable conversations or get comfortable with a lot of uncomfortable truths, right? You've got to get real with yourself. But I think that's the part of entrepreneurship, man. It's that roller coaster. Every day is a roller coaster. It's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And even in my down days, sometimes I can dwell in it for sure, man. I can definitely feel uncomfortable and go, when's this going to end? Why is this happening to me? Woe is me, poor me kind of thing. And then I sometimes just have to sit in it and that uncomfortableness and then almost slap myself, right? Come on, Pete, man, you've done this before. You can get out of this. But I think you just got to be real. And the reason, just to, again, double click on this answer, there is a reason why I actually do lean into my coaches. It's for them to remind me of my past, of where I have overcome adversity, homelessness, where I have overcome the challenges and the sacrifices, because I've made many and I'm still making many to this very day. And I sometimes need to be reminded of even my successes and failures in the past to go, oh yeah, I have got that mindset. I have got that resilience to get myself through it. So again, it's just about the reframe. I can't necessarily always reframe it myself. I've got to talk to somebody for them to tell me, Pete, you've got through this before. Come on, man, fix up. Come on, let's go. Yalla.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. If I told you that, if you have that, I'm not sure if you know about Brands of Persia, this sand of time. If you have that sand of time that can take you to your past, okay? If you have this availability, what's that one thing that you want to come back into your past and change it?
This might sound like a real contrived answer. I wouldn't change anything.
Why?
Because if by not changing anything, it's allowed me to shape who I am and it's got me where I am today. And again, I'm only getting started. So I would not want to change. I'm a big believer in fate. For all the bad things that have happened, the negative things, the challenges, the sacrifices, it's who I am. They've got me to where I am today. I would say, if anything, I'd reframe your question and say that, the sands of time, what would you change in the past? I wouldn't change anything necessarily, but what I would do is tell my future self, hey man, it's never as bad as what you think it is. You'll get through it.
That's a beautiful one. Do you regret things?
No regrets.
At all? At all?
Maybe, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily reframe it as a regret. It's something, a skill I'm lacking in and still lacking in to this very day. And I'll tell you what that is. The skill that I would probably say that I lack even now is to be more present with my successes and acknowledge what I've actually built and what I've achieved. Because I still, rightly or wrongly, still live in this, I'm just getting started. I don't acknowledge any of the successes. It's just a thing I've achieved. I kind of almost brush it off and don't give it the credence because I feel that if I acknowledge it, then it's kind of almost giving into a little bit of ego. Right? Rightly or wrongly. Yeah. Again, this is just my personal take on it. So I want to just always feel that I'm still getting started. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still trying to teach. But being present, I think I haven't been present enough with myself to actually truly acknowledge and think, you know what, Pete, look what you've built.
Why?
Limiting. No, let me ask that. Why? Probably
because we are all human beings, I think from that perspective, most of the time that our mind is always taking the aeroplane either to go into the future, okay, and just to project things that maybe it will never exist. And when you think about it, why it's influenced because of our past. So whether we have this aeroplane, it takes us into the future or just take us into the past, and we missed all the presence that we have. Why do you think this is happening?
I think for me personally, it might be imposter syndrome. You know, I'm not really, or a lag in that. Some people might look and go, Pete, but look what you've built, look what you've done, look at that success. And I'm going, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to acknowledge it, because the moment I acknowledge it, it makes me feel a little bit like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm successful, and I'm not that. Again, maybe it's an imposter syndrome thing. Does that answer your question or not?
100%.
Okay.
100%. So, just last question that I would ask you: if an entrepreneur that is listening to us right now, who had a great idea and tried many times on this idea, and it doesn't work, and they start to raise the white flag on themselves, what's your best advice for them?
Firstly, we've all done it, right? We've all done it. I still do it. Never give up. And as cheesy, as cliched as that might sound, look at all the greats. Edison went through, I think it was 1,000 different iterations of the light bulb, right? So, you know, use that as a bit of a sort of a thing to sort of anchor into. I will answer it from a personal perspective, because everything I've done and built is different iterations of a thing that I fixated on. And I'll answer it like this, Ahmed. When I've had an idea, and let's face it, as entrepreneurs, we get millions of great ideas. When I've actually had a great idea and think, this is the idea, don't tell me any different. This is the thing that I'm going to build, and I'm going to do it this way because my idea is great, right? There's the ego coming out. My idea is great. This is going to work. And I've got all this experience and knowledge. I'm going to make this thing work. What I've actually found in entrepreneurship is you can have this great idea and fixate on it, but I guarantee you 1,000,000%, when you then become successful, that idea you had has morphed into an idea that's over here. And it could be 60, 70% different to your initial idea, because that's the thing they never teach you in the school of entrepreneurship. You can have the idea, but the actual success looks very, very different. And it's 1,000,000 miles away from where you first had your idea. So again, be open to that. So if you are an entrepreneur that's struggling, just know that, you know, true success of your idea will look very different to what you first hatched it was. And that's just my own personal take on it. And I still think even today, a lot of the ideas I have, and I had a great one this morning, I know it will look very different. And that's the thing. I know it will look very different. I've got a great idea, but I know now that it will look very different in 3 months' time. Why? Because that's life and that's entrepreneurship. That's you figuring it out. And the delta between your idea and the reality is where the magic happens. That's where the iterations happen. That's where the idea is born, it's morphed, and it creates something very, very different. And it's just having that knowledge. Never give up. Never give up. And even if you've done the Edison thing and you've done 1,000 iterations and you're at that point of going, oh, I can't be bothered anymore. No, because you're just on the other side of that mine where all the diamonds are, right? You've got to just keep going. The moment you resign yourself to not just fixating on my idea has to be like this, once you're open to it, that's when the magic happens, man.
That's very inspiring. It was a pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you, brother.
Lovely seeing you, and wish you all the best.